All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome, welcome. Glad we got that important poll out of the way. Got that resolved. Yeah, LCR Brick Tech. I like that idea of having a CAD system available in the in the icons next to the people, or as a poll. It's a great idea, but we only have we have a limited number of answers we're allowed to implement in those polls. But I do love the idea of doing polls. It's definitely a cool way to kind of keep everybody engaged and interacting. EUP, that's me in the chat. Says made it just in time. Victor K says that's a feature that can be added in Discord. Yeah, the Discord is rich, feature rich with icons, and we can definitely experiment a little bit more in here as we are, continuing to grow the channel, continuing to grow the Discord. Shout out to Jern. Jern's been helping me with the admin on the Discord, so huge shout out to Jern. See if he's here today in the chat. Sometimes he joins us on Model Monday Live. He's definitely active in the Discord. LCR Brick Tech is here. What's up? Welcome, welcome. Thanks for joining us. Ricardo Jean is here. Hello, my friend. Welcome, welcome. Great to see you in here. And we got Victor K here joining the level 42, doing the level 42 upgrade, GG upgrade. So thank you to Victor K and GG to Victor K as well. Great to have you in here in the level 42 upgrade. I can't spell while I'm typing, so you guys just got to wait a second for me to type this out. GG to Victor K. And we also got, we saw Tenyo Bakalov is here. It says, hello all. Welcome. Happy Model Monday Live. Guys, it is Model Monday Live. It is my favorite time of the week. So great to see everybody in here together. What a great way to start the week, too. Fully Defined joining the channel as well. He's in Australia, so we might not see him here in the live stream today. He's usually asleep during the live stream, but something pretty cool. If you check out Fully Defined's channel, he a lot of times goes through and creates the models from Model Monday Live and does tutorials. He's a teacher. He's a CAD instructor, so he does tutorials too. LCR Bricktech is Onshape ready. Yeah, we're going to do some Onshape modeling today. Of course, I am a certified Onshape professional, guys. I don't know if I mentioned that before on the stream or not. Aaron C is here. What's up, my man? Thanks for joining us. Great to see you in here today. Happy Monday. Yes, happy Monday to everybody. Hopefully everybody's okay with this weather. I know the weather tearing up the East Coast has been brutal. Something that I saw on the internet, I don't know if this is true or not, maybe somebody can confirm, but this isn't the first Hurricane Helene or Hurricane Helen that we've had here in the United States. And when it happened last time, it actually happened right around the same time of year and hit right around the same geographic location. So you guys that are out there can do a wiki search, see if that's true, if there was a previous Hurricane Helene and if it hit in late September in the same region that this one's hitting in. It's pretty crazy how history can repeat itself. We'll get somebody in the chat, I'm sure, to confirm whether or not the internet was lying to me or telling the truth. Sometimes the internet lies to me. So I want to make sure that I put that disclaimer out there. We'll get some third-party confirmation on that one. But I hope that everybody is safe. I hope everybody's been safe. Up here where I am, a little outside of Philadelphia, we mainly got some rain, some much-needed rain, actually. So I do appreciate that. Thankful for that rain. It's been pretty dry here. Tenyo Bakalov is here. What's up? What's up? Welcome, welcome. Victor K is here. Ricardo Jean is here. Hello, hello. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Model Monday Live. Thanks for joining us. Footprints Diary from Sri Lanka. What's up? Welcome. Thanks for joining us. And Rockcrawler is here. Model Monday Live. Yay. Yes, indeed. And Jern is here. What's up? What's up? There's been 6 Hurricane Helenes before. Okay, cool. See, this is what we needed. Thank you for that confirmation. So we're on the six go around here for Hurricane Helenes. Oh, here we go. Internet lying to me again. Says, sorry, actually 5. Miscounted. Okay. Good. Glad that we got that straight as well. Atse is here in the chat. Says, hello, everybody. Happy Monday. Yes, yes, yes. Welcome, welcome. Raja is here. Says, hello, Toby. Rich Penn, member of the channel, is here. Says, hello from DFW. What's rain? You're in Dallas, Fort Worth today? Wow. Rich Penn, welcome. In the airport, maybe. That's like, if you're in that airport, that's a crazy airport. It's like bigger than my town. Ram Bros is here. What's up, Ram Bros? All right, guys, we all know what we're here for, right? Let's get into it. I want to just say, first of all, welcome everyone. Thank you all so much for joining us today here on Model Monday Live. It's so good to see everybody in here. Great way to start the week, a great way to do some friendly CAD versus CAD competition and get some practice going from 2D to 3D. You know, here at TooTallToby, what we're really trying to do is give you guys a lot of different skills, a lot of different tools, a lot of different opportunity to practice going from 2D to 3D. And one of the ways that we do that is here on Model Monday Live, the best live stream of the week. Always good to see everybody in here. We, of course, are coming fresh off of our other live stream that happened this past weekend, and it was some amazing matches, but we were very sad to see some of our friends of the channel get knocked out of the tournament. First of all, Ricardo Jean in one of the most brutal, heartbreaking defeats that I've seen in the tournament to date. He got totally tripped up on SolidWorks being weird and not letting him do a revolve. And it was brutal to watch, Ricardo. Everybody's hearts broke when that happened. So I can't wait to see you in the next tournament. I know that you can win this whole thing. The Wheel of Fate has been dealing you some really difficult challenges along the way, but you know, I can't wait to see you in the next one, bro. I'm gonna be rooting for you the whole time. So great job in the tournament. It was awesome watching you. But it was great, Nate, the #1 seed who moved on to the Final Four. Epic showdowns taking place here in the Final Four. We're going to see Great Nate versus Dom, another person who's an old tournament pro, old friend of the show, and Dom got to go up against Mr. Alex. So again, we had two people who are, you know, good friends of the show, really active in the chat, really active in the community, and Dom was able to defeat Mr. Alex. And again, some brutal models being dealt out by the Wheel of Fate in those matches. We had a really cool model with a series of swept profiles, these swept wires. It was a lot of fun to watch Dom and Mr. Alex battle it out on that one. And then, of course, we had a sheet metal model, and that sheet metal model was pretty brutal as well. Dom was able to make pretty short work of it, but that definitely, you know, it's tough when you're not doing sheet metal all the time. So overall, though, Mr. Alex, always a strong competitor, always a great member of the community, and it was great to see him in action as well. Great to see both of those runners in action, and just some fun matches this weekend. I gotta say, I'm really sad to have seen these guys go who are regulars here on the channel, but some real good action. If you guys haven't had a chance to watch those matches, you know, be on the lookout. We're definitely going to be sending out the highlights from those matches during this week coming up here. Aaron C in the chat says, it was crazy that neither of them knew about the circular sweep, though. I was screaming at my TV watching them model that part. Yeah, circular sweep would have been pretty cool. In the Discord, Victor K and I got into a discussion about how to model it as efficient as possible, both in SolidWorks and in Onshape. So I'm going to have some videos coming out for that one as well to show you guys some cool tricks you can do when patterning in Onshape or patterning in SolidWorks to create that type of geometry. But really cool, really exciting to watch those matches, and yeah, very excited to make some highlight videos from those matches. Guys, this Friday, October 4th, we're going to continue with our Elite 8, whittling that down to our Final Four. Titanium using Inventor, going up against Chris B. Co. using SolidWorks. Ram Bros using Fusion 360, going up against Atse using SolidWorks. Again, these are going to be just outstanding matches. Can't wait for the matches this Friday. So join us this Friday. It's going to be a really fun tournament. Tune in, live streaming right here on the same channel. Guys, if you're here for the first time on Model Monday Live, be sure to let us know in the chat. The chat pros will definitely take care of you. And today we're going to get into 2 CAD speed modeling challenges for all of you. We're going to do some tournament updates, which we just did. We're going to do a live solve using Onshape, and we're going to hang out with the best chat ever. I'm going to live solve this model here. We did see a question come up in the Discord about this one, about creating the rib in Onshape and how that rib was giving us some problems in Onshape. You can see down here in the model, it says the rib touches tangent to the arc. The rib touches tangent to the arc. So what does that mean exactly, and how do you model something like that? So we're gonna get into that as well. SM is usually sheet metal. Yeah, sheet metal. Question came in there from the chat. PC Arduino is here. Says thank you. My pleasure, PC Arduino. I don't know if you're gonna be happy with the answer, but I'll definitely go through and model it. Tayfun is here. What's up? Welcome, my man. Thanks for joining us. Guys, don't forget, before we get started with the CAD vs. CAD challenges, hit that like button. The best way to support the channel is to hit the like button. Currently, it looks like we got 32 people watching. We got 10 likes. Let's see what we can do to get that ratio up. Let's match that up. We want to make sure that we get an equal number of viewers to the number of likes. Don't forget to share and reshare as well. You can get out there and share this channel with your coworkers. If you like what we're doing here, take a screen capture, send it out to your coworkers, your social media network. Who knows? You might have like a nephew or an uncle or an aunt or a niece or a cousin who's really into 3D CAD and you didn't even know it. And this is your chance to, make sure that you've got enough. You're continuing to spread the good word, to people in your community. What a good gift to give to other engineers. Exactly. Got to get something for my Taiwanese colleagues. I was thinking about a nice fountain pen. That's good too. Or just send them a share or a reshare to this channel. That's also good. All right, guys, let's get into it here. Today is Model Monday Live. Today is September 30th, and we're going to show you a 2D print. Ricardo Jean coming in with some super chat. Thank you so much, Ricardo Jean. Very much appreciated that super chat. €5. Please click at the like button. Yes, exactly. Could not have said it better myself. Hit that like button. Let's get that like count up to 35. We got 35 people watching. Let's get that like count up to 35 as well. And thank you so much, Ricardo Jean, for that super chat. Very much appreciated. Ken Haley is here. Says, nice to see you live. Thanks for helping me in my Onshape learning experience. Good, Ken. Well, I'm glad this is helpful. And welcome to Model Monday Live. So guys, this is Model Monday Live, and so what we're going to do is show you a 2D print, and we're going to challenge you to turn that 2D print into a 3D model using the 3D CAD system of your choice, calculate the mass, and then enter that mass directly into the YouTube chat. And the rules are simple. You can use any 3D CAD package. As long as you can input a density and output a mass, then you are welcome to use whatever CAD package you want. Make sure you use the specified precision that's shown on the print, and the first person to answer correctly in the chat will win and will be recognized on the Model Monday Live leaderboard at TooTallToby.com. And so the materials and units that we use here on Model Monday Live are shown on this slide. You might want to take a moment and grab a screen capture because plain carbon steel in your CAD system might be a little different from plain carbon steel in my CAD system. So there are subtle differences between material densities from one CAD system to the next. And so it's important that you know how to create your own custom materials, regardless of what CAD system you're in. And the advanced rules are that this is meant to be fun and good-spirited. Occasionally, I will make a mistake, maybe omit an important dimension or something like that. And the Ivan exploit, of course, is permitted. If you're not familiar with the Ivan exploit, I'm actually working on a video with Aaron C. right now as we speak. We're just about done with that video. We're doing some color grading, kind of some final touches on that video, making sure we have all the credits correct on that video. And then that video is going to be released any day. So be on the lookout for that Ivan exploit video. It's going to be one of the biggest contributions Aaron C. and I have ever made to the CAD community at large. So the Ivan exploit is permitted, though, during these challenges. All right, guys, here we go. This first challenge begins in 3. Wait, let me go to full screen here. 3, 2, 1, go. What is the mass of this part in XXX.X grams? What is the mass of this part in XXX.X grams? And the tolerance is plus or minus 0.1 grams. Kind of a tight tolerance on this one. This part is obviously a document object model. We're trying to create a document object model here. We're trying to 3D print it so that we can hang it up outside of the office so people know the document object model. That's what's taking place inside of this office. So, we got contracted to 3D print one of these. And so we had to create the model. So here you guys go. It's just a tier 3 model. Shouldn't take you too long. Then we can get into our second challenge of the day. But this is called the document object model. And you guys are challenged to take this 2D model, 2D drawing, and turn it into a 3D model using the 3D CAD system of your choice. And again, this was something that we needed to 3D print so we could hang it outside the door so people would know that in this office, we're working on the document object model. All right, I'm going to take a quick sip of my coffee. All righty. And with that, let's keep going with today's presentation. Guys, I hope you're having a great Monday. I'm definitely having a great Monday. Don't forget to like and subscribe, share and reshare. Your challenge this week is to tell one coworker about the channel. Lean over, whisper in their ear while they're working on their bar graphs with their white suit jacket after Labor Day. And make sure that you let them know TooTallToby is the place to go. If you need to practice your 3D CAD, if you want to learn more about the Ivan exploit, you got to go to TooTallToby.com. Also, guys, if you enjoy the channel and if you have the means, we always welcome financial contributions. We kind of run off of a value for value model here. So if you are enjoying the channel, if you're getting a lot of value and you have the ability to send value back, do so. And, something Phil and I were talking about during the live stream on Friday is that, there's no obligation, there's no expectation, there's no minimum, there's no minimum requirement. It could be $1. It could be an image, a funny image that you create that's related to the community. It could be, volunteering to help out, moderating in Discord. There's lots of different ways that you can contribute and send value. Not everybody has, the ability to do some type of a financial contribution, and that's totally cool. I mean, even just showing up here and engaging in the chat in the community, and even just, liking the videos and sharing the videos is a great way to send some value back. But if you do have the financial means, and if you wanted to send some financial contribution back as a form of value, we welcome that. We try to create a lot of different avenues. You can use the super chat here in Model Monday Live in YouTube. You can use super thanks if you're watching the recording, or you can visit us at TooTallToby.com/donate. You can use PayPal or Venmo there at TooTallToby.com/donate. And what some of the members of the community have done is they've set up what's called a recurring donation. And so I always like to take this part of Model Monday Live to thank those members for those recurring donations. And they are Dale W., Sylvain, and EUP, that's me. So huge shout out to these members of the community, these awesome members of the community. We appreciate value for value when it comes from any direction, and when it comes in any form. It's very, very much appreciated. And of course, we want to recognize the guys who have set up that kind of recurring contribution to make sure that, we can keep this train rolling and just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I would love to see this list grow to 50 or 100 or 500 or 1 million people, but I'm extremely thankful for all the value that we get back from the community. So thank you guys so much. You are all the best. And of course, thank you to Dale W., Sylvain, and EUP, that's me as well. And we do have a new option to join membership. I saw Victor K joined during the live stream today, so thank you so much, Victor K. We also saw Crispy Co. Fully Defined join the membership. We're going to talk about this a little bit later, but there is a new button you'll see on the videos for join. Another way to, just to kind of continue this value for value model and continue to kind of help out with supporting the channel. That's the main thing that you're doing with that, more so than any exclusive content. Maybe we'll do exclusive content in the future at some point, but the main thing is that we just really appreciate your support, and it's just a different way of doing it. And we really appreciate any value we get back from any of the members of the community. Now, in the world of TooTallToby, one way that you can send some value back that is very, very much appreciated and truly a win-win-win is through training. This is really the bread and butter of the business right now, is training with Toby. And so in October, we've got some training classes coming up. We got an advanced part modeling training class coming up. We've got a sheet metal training class, a weldments training class. So if you want to get in on that in October, you can message Vicky at TooTallToby.com. She'll give you the exact dates, and we'll have those exact dates properly advertised here in just another couple of days. We're just locking down the final scheduling here with some other stuff. So October, we've got some training classes coming up. We'd love to see some of the members of the community in those classes. Of course, you could talk to your supervisor, your training coordinator. A lot of times your company has a budget for CAD training, and you're absolutely going to get a return on investment because you're going to be able to save time making the parts that you're already making, and you're going to learn how to make some new parts that maybe you didn't know how to create before. So between those two things, you're absolutely going to get a return on investment, and this should be a win-win-win. A win for you because you get training, a win for me because we get some business, and a win for your company because they're going to have a stronger employee. So keep that in mind as you're going to different team meetings and things like that. If the topic of training ever comes up, let them know, hey, I know a guy. I know a guy who's a SolidWorks expert. I know a guy who's an certified onshape professional. He could definitely do some training for us, for our team, for our class, for our company. And of course, you're going to get this amazing certificate when you're done with that training. Another return on investment from taking that training. You also get a training manual and some sample training files to practice too. Guys, CSWP Prep, we've talked about this before. We've talked about most of our training classes have a $500 per student price tag. $500 per student. That's usually, within reason when you're at a company, when you're working at a company. It's actually about half the price of what most places charge when you work at a company. But if you're on your own, that might be a little bit high. But we've got good news for you. We've just about completed and are rolling out our official CSWP Prep online training class. This is going to be something that's going to be self-paced. You're going to go at your own pace. I've got some pre-recorded videos that I've put up there. It's a total of 5 hours of videos along with the training material. It's got a $150 standard price tag, 5 hours of video, sample CSWP prep exam, downloaded training files, tips and tricks for any certification. So not just for the CSWP, but for any certification. And this is about to be officially released to the public with a $150 price tag. But if you stick around, if you pay attention to the TooTallToby community, we'll be able to get you some discount coupons. We'll run some specials. And that way we can make sure that we get everybody who wants to get certified, their certification, their CSWP prep certification. So I got to tell you, I may be a little bit biased, but I'm really happy with how this class came out. And I'm excited to start making more classes for people, make some sheet metal classes, some surfacing classes, so that you have just a different way of getting that training. It's always nice when you can take training live with a certified instructor, but if that's not an option for you, this is going to give you a different path that you can go down. And so we want to make sure that, we offer different people some different solutions for getting better at 3D CAD. So be on the lookout for that. This will probably be announced on Friday at the tournament, the official release of this class, and then I'll announce it again next week at Model Monday Live. And of course, Onshape training, if you're interested in getting any Onshape training, one place you could start would be youtube.com/OnShapeInc. We've posted a tutorial there, step-by-step tutorial on how to make this assembly of the Sterling engine, and it's gotten rave reviews, so definitely check it out. And let's continue into the world of TooTallToby. At TooTallToby, we've got the Practice Models app. There's currently almost 70 Practice Models app challenges on there, and I was hoping I was going to wait until we got almost 70 people completing almost 70 of those models. I might decide just to kind of break down and release some more sooner rather than later. We're going to see how it goes on here, but be sure to check out the Practice Models app if you're not familiar, and know that there are almost 70 models on there for you to go through to challenge yourself with. K Customs is in the chat. What's up, K Customs? Welcome. Thanks for joining us. And of course, we did talk a little bit about the World Championship. I just want to remind everybody that we've been posting highlight videos of all the matches. So this is another thing that, you could really help me out. If you see me post a new highlight video, just hit that share and reshare button and share it out to your network. I know that a lot of you maybe don't really use social media to build out a business the way I'm using it, but certainly you've got a social media network of some sort. Just take one of these videos and just share and reshare it. Just say, hey, guys, if you know anybody who's into 3D CAD, have them check out this video. It's a great way to kind of expose people to that TooTallToby community and get them roped in so we can get them, some more CAD training, more CAD experience as well. And we are really winding down on this tournament. I mean, we just did the matches on 9/27, so the only 2 dates remaining are October 4th, which is this Friday, and then the finals. So we're really winding down on this World Championship. I'm so excited to see who's going to win it. It's truly anyone's game at this point. So very excited to see how this works. Pay Rate says, I only had one crash in SolidWorks today, so I'm in a good mood. Nice. I like it, Pay Rate. I like it. And in this tournament, I think you guys at this point probably know what to expect as far as the models go. So I want to, of course, say thank you to our tournament super fans, Bob Evans and Victor K. Thank you guys so much for being a part of that new program that we launched for this tournament. And I want to thank 3D Connection for being the sponsor of this tournament. It was really the matches were really awesome this past weekend, and I'm very excited to see Crispy Co. and Titanium and Ram Bros and Otse going at it. I see Ram Bros and Otse are both in the chat today, so we'll see if they have a little friendly rivalry here today during Model Monday Live. Guys, TooTallToby.com/calendar is where we've got all the dates for those tournament matchups, so you can go on there and you can create a calendar appointment for yourself, and the YouTube live stream link is in there too, so you don't miss any of the upcoming live streams. And finally, the Discord. We've mentioned the Discord a little bit. The Discord's getting a lot of traction, a lot of action going on in there, a lot of great discussion. So check out the Discord. Definitely a good place to go if you have any questions about practice models or you have any questions about really anything that we're doing here at TooTallToby. The Discord is a great place to hang out and ask those questions. And so one last reminder, like and subscribe before we get into the answer to this first challenge today. Say in the chat says, Ramp Bros beat me today. Good game. Well, we've got 2 models today for you, I'd say, so we'll see if we get you the second one. Okay, don't forget about training. You can email Vicky at TooTallToby.com with any questions you have about training. If you want a custom class for your company, we could do something like that too. We really appreciate all of the business for training, and we can certainly work with you and create a custom class as well. So this first model, the DOM, D-O-M, Document Object Model. What is this? Why are we doing this model? This seems a little bit unusual compared to some of the other models we've done. Well, as I mentioned a little earlier, we do have a new option at the bottom of the YouTube channel, join. And we've been kind of running a promotion maybe for the first 5 or 10 members who join the channel here. What you end up getting is recognition here. And so Dom just joined the channel. So he gets recognition and he gets a custom model made just for him. The Dom, the document object model. This one is for Dom, who just joined the channel. Level 42 GG. And Dom here, you could see he's supporting the channel. He's going to get access to some custom emojis. He's going to get exclusive content, possibly exclusive content, and more to come. We'll do some more stuff for our special members of the YouTube channel as we move forward in time. But huge shout out to Dom for joining the channel. Thank you so much, Dom. And so far, we've got Dom, Bob, Rich Penn. We got a couple of more people, Fully Defined, and Victor K, who have joined. So Rich Penn was our first member. We created a special model for him a few weeks ago. Bob was our next member, created a special Bob model for him. Dom was our next member, and we created a special model for him. And who's going to be next? Who's going to get in there in that first group of 5 or 10 users who become, we'll just call it 10. The first 10 users who become members of this YouTube channel, who's going to come in there next and get a new model that's created, a new practice model, and get kind of forever commemorated here in the world of TooTallToby? Well, I guess we will find out. Maybe it'll be Fully Defined or Victor K. Maybe. All right, guys, let's see who got this one correct. Let's roll back. I saw there was a lot of answers in the beginning. Interesting. So Victor K, 323.9. Aaron C, 319.3. Ram Bros, 324.2. Ricardo Jean, 320.5. Otse, 324.3. Why so many different answers? Why so many different answers? Indeed. Let's see here. Aaron C, 323.9. So that's our first consistent answer there, 323.9. Tayfun, 323.5. Paragine, 323.9. I like it. Rambros, 323.9. Rambros, Mr. Phillips. Tayfun, 323.5. 323.9. Sorry. Yep, got it. LCR Bricktech, 323.3. LCR Bricktech, 323.3. Barbarian, welcome. 323.9. PC Arduino, 323.3. I like it. All right. And Jern, 323.5. I like it. And Aaron C joining the channel. Welcome, Aaron C. Welcome to level 42 GG. Thank you very much. Very much appreciate it. And welcome. I wonder what the Aaron C model is going to look like. Yeah, we're going to have to find something good. Let's see here. And Daniel Perez coming in 322.44. Guys, the correct answer for this one is 323.9 plus or minus 0.9 grams. And so the official winner for this one is going to be none other than Victor K, right? Victor K, 323.9. So GG to Victor K. Nice job. Very nice job. Congratulations. GG. GG to Victor K. Great job. Great job. Good game. It really means good game, not great job. GG, Victor. Right? Yes, indeed. All right, guys, let's get on to our second challenge here. We got a leftover from the tournament. We had one of the models in the tournament that didn't make it. The Wheel of Fate did not select it, and so I wanted to give you guys a shot at this one. So here we go. Great gob. Yep. So here we go. This next 3D CAD Speed Modeling Challenge, this next Model Monday Live CAD Speed Modeling Challenge begins in 3, 2, 1, go. What is the mass of this part in XXX grams? Tolerance on this one is plus or minus 1 gram. And this one is called boxer bracket. And you guys can, in the chat, you can think about why it's called that. You can let me know. Boxer bracket. This is maybe it's used in a gym of some sort. Maybe that's why. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe there's another reason. Boxer bracket. EUP, that's me. Got close. I like it. I guess that's within tolerance, right? EUP, that's me. That's within tolerance. All right, guys. Yup. Victor K in the chat says first onshape win. All right, he modeled that using onshape. Wow. What a beast. We got to see Victor K using onshape in the tournament. That's what I think everybody wants to see. Well, like I said, this model came from the tournament. So this will give you guys a chance to, give you guys a chance who are here in Model Monday Live who weren't in the tournament. It'll give you a chance to practice with a model that's actually from the tournament. It's a leftover. It's one that the wheel did not select. So give you guys a chance to experience what it's like to be in the tournament. All right. Hopefully that was enough time for everybody to grab a screenshot, because we're going to move on here. Don't forget, mark your calendar. Friday, October 18th, the World Championship. So now let's get into a little 3D CAD speed modeling using Onshape. And this model here is called Clamp Fork. And there's always, more than one way to create a model in 3D CAD. But I think that there are kind of some common steps that you go through when you're trying to come up with a game plan, an initial game plan. And I think the first of those steps is to recognize where the origin is going to be located. And one of the first things that I look for is a bunch of dimensions that all seem to be coming from the same place. And I think in the case of this clamp fork, that place would be the center of this bore here. So 25 through with a little an opening here so it can kind of clamp together. So 25 through that hole there, you can see that we've got a dimension that comes down to the location of this kind of key feature down here. You've got a dimension that comes over to that same key feature. You've also got these dimensions that come down here to this key feature. Everything runs up through the center. You've got your height here coming from that location up to this height here. I just think that there's so many dimensions that are coming from that location. That's going to make a great candidate for the location of the origin. So the origin is going to be here. And then you can see here that on this side of the model is symmetric. So you've got this CLSYM, which means the model is symmetric. So what that means is that the origin is going to be basically right here. It's going to be right at the center of that hole. And it's going to be that radius 22. And it's going to be for the radius is the keyway. The hole's 25 millimeters, but the radius is that keyway, and then or that tombstone. And then we're also going to have the origin right here, right at the center of the model. So it's always good to come up with a location of the origin before you really jump in and start creating the model. And then the next thing that you need to decide is kind of what your game plan is going to be for the order of your feature creation. And what I noticed about this model is that I could pretty much draw everything on the front plane. So I could create that tombstone shape. I could create this hole here. I could create the rectangle that goes through for the slot. I could even create maybe a center line here to give me the location of where this hole is going to end up being. And then what I could do is I could create this geometry here, again, all in that original sketch. I could create all that geometry in the original sketch, this circle here, this circle here. If I'm mirroring it or if I'm not mirroring it, regardless, I could have that all in that original sketch. And then I could just kind of work out from there. And Onshape in particular really is an easy-to-use, intuitive program when you perform geometry like this. I know there's some programs out there. I don't want to say what program, but there are some programs out there that if you're doing certain features like revolves, they kind of jam you up when you try to do multiple contours. But Onshape doesn't seem to have that problem. Onshape seems to really work with an elegant solution when it comes to multiple contours. So it's definitely tempting to lay out the entire model, at least from one view in one sketch. In the past, I've been a little hesitant of doing that because I felt like the sketches got too complicated. But I'm going to give it a try here today and see how it works out. There's always more than one way to come to a solution in these types of challenges, but I'm going to give it a try here with kind of a layout approach where I lay out everything on the front sketch, and we'll see how long it takes us. So I'll start out by grabbing a screen capture of that challenge, moving it over onto my second screen, and then let's get into Onshape here. I'm going to be using the Onshape using my free account, which means that everything that I create in this demonstration is going to be available in the public space in Onshape, so you would be able to search for that. In fact, I'm curious if anybody has built this model yet in Onshape. So you can see here it's called 24-WC-20. So I go down here to public, and then I do search in public, 24-WC-20, enter, and oh, look at that. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different people in Onshape in the public space who have gone through and created this model. So this is pretty cool because it means if you're ever doing a challenge, a TooTallToby challenge, and you get stuck, you could just go into your free Onshape account, search the public space, and maybe you'll find somebody who's already got, you know, the document created. You could click on that model, you could look through their tree, you could kind of see how they've created that model, and you could even right mouse button on that model and copy it into your own public space, your own space, so that you'd be able to actually work on it. So you can actually copy it into your documents. Right mouse button here, you see it says copy workspace, and you can just copy that right into your workspace. So it's pretty cool if you ever get stuck in a practice model. This is you know, it's good to know that you can get in there and you can actually create that model. So LCR BrickTech says search for TTT parts, and that's mine. Nice, very nice. All right, so we're going to do create document here. We're going to call this 24-WC-20-clamp fork. That way anybody who wants to can search for it. This is going to be a public document. And here we are in the Onshape modeling environment. Let's bring up the keyboard cam so you guys can see all the fun shortcuts that I'm using, which is mainly just the S key, of course. And now we're going to start creating this model. We're going to maybe start out by going up here to options, workspace units, and just making sure that we're in millimeters and grams. That is my default workspace units in my Onshape profile. So most of the time I don't have to change it unless the model comes up and happens to be inches. So we'll go front plane, S key, begin a sketch, orient the view with the end key. And then we're going to go to the line command, single click, move our mouse down, single click again, move our mouse back, go over top of that line, move our mouse up this way, single click, and then we can let go of our mouse and we can come over to the number pad and we can type in that radius. So the radius is 22, enter. Then we can move our mouse up in this direction, single click, let go of our mouse. We can type in a dimension for that one. That dimension is going to be 45, enter. We can move our mouse over this way. Of course, this is going to be 44 because the radius was 22. So we can type that in if we want, but it's going to end up being driven. Hit escape. I'm going to right mouse button on that dimension, say change to driven dimension. And then I'll take this point and I'll press I. And then I'll take this center point here and this point, and I'll press I, and that locks everything to the origin, gives me a nice black sketch. S key, circle, single click, move my mouse, let go. Come over to the 10 key, 25, enter, nice. S key, center point rectangle, right here on this centered plane. So that kind of sets me up with that center point. I guess that the width for this rectangle is gonna be 6, and then the height is gonna be, I mean, it could just be 45, right? We could just make the height 45, make it that same height to line everything up. And then we could just take this line here, this point here, press I, and lock those two together. So one thing that you'll notice about this print is that it's not centerline symmetric looking at it from the front view, and the reason why is because of this counter bore. So this counter bore makes the front view here asymmetric, but if you look at all the dimensions, you quickly realize that basically everything else on this view is symmetric. So for example, this is 100, this is 100. You know, these holes here are both 33. The diameter here is 60, the diameter here is 60. The distance off center is 1/2 of 145. So you can tell that everything else is symmetric. symmetric. So you could kind of like model the whole part symmetric and then go back and just add in that final feature that is non-symmetric. So that gives us that kind of opening there that we could clamp down. Here what we could do is begin sketching a line and then press the letter Q. This is something that I do a lot of times when I'm trying to do some layout work, if I'm trying to kind of put everything in the front plane. What I'll do is I'll create a dimension here of 14 for this dimension, and what that dimension is going to represent is the location of the counter bore. So that's going to represent this dimension here, this 14, which is to the center line of the counter bore. A lot of times I'll just put that in that first sketch to kind of help me lay out that first sketch. So now that I've got that upper region done, now I'm ready to sketch the remainder of this sketch here. So maybe I'll start out with a line that starts here coming off of this arc and kind of comes down at an angle. And, you know, at this point, you're just kind of doing your best to eyeball everything up. So this is going to come out and around like so. And then you're going to come off with another tangent line coming off of that. And then maybe a horizontal line to here. And then a vertical line. And I'll press Q to turn that vertical line into a construction line so I can use that to mirror. Now, sometimes what I do is I then go in and add in some dimensional information. Like this guy down here is going to have a radius of 30. And the distance from the origin or from the top plane, it's kind of nice. You could just pick the plane to that point there. Is going to be a distance of 100, and the distance from the center plane here, so again it's nice you can pick the plane to this point here, is going to be 72.5. So sometimes what I'll do is I'll kind of just add in a couple of dimensions at first, and then I'll go back through and start cleaning up the geometry. So like I'll take these two and make them parallel, so this here and this here, and the shortcut key for parallel is B. I don't know how you're going to remember that. I just remember it because B has like 3 parallel lines in the capital letter, but you know, you have to figure out a way to remember that. And then we could go here to our angle dimension. So our angle dimension from here to here is going to be an angle of 45. And then our final dimension from this plane down to here is going to be a dimension of 80. Now that geometry all looks to be fully defined or fully constrained. Maybe I'll add in another circle here, and I'll add in a circle like this, and I'll give this circle a diameter of 33. And now what I can do is I can select all that geometry. So just grab all that geometry there, including the center line, and then I can choose mirror, and that mirrors all that geometry over the center line. Now, sometimes you'll get a message like this, like select entities to be mirrored, or select center line to mirror about. So you just go out on the screen and click it at that point. You can see that you're still in mirror mode, like the button is pressed down. That's what I use as an indicator. And then if I press escape, now I'm no longer in mirror mode. So that gives me basically everything that I need for the layout of the sketch from the front. The only thing that's really left over is that rib going up at an angle, but I think we're just going to tackle that last. So now what I can do is I can go to my extrude command, so S key extrude, bring up that menu extrude. And then what I usually do at this point is I just immediately press the space bar on my keyboard. And what space bar does in Onshape is it clears your selections. So it's going to clear out this selection. So I don't come over here and click this X. I just press space right away. And then I come out and pick the region that I want to extrude, that I intend to extrude. So maybe it would be this region here. And then I can press tab, whoops, it's not going through. Tab, get down to my dimensional value. So that's going to come out to a depth of 50, tab, space, and space is going to hit the check mark for symmetric. And then I press enter, and that finishes that command. So now I can show that sketch again, and then I can S key extrude with nothing selected. And then I can just take my mouse out here over the region that I want to extrude, tab, oops, sorry, tab, maybe I should have done that first. Tab, and then I'm going to take that to a depth of 16, tab, spacebar for symmetric. Another thing that you can do in Onshape that's pretty cool is at this point you can press Shift Enter. And when you press Shift Enter, it takes you back into the extrude command again. So now I could just, with my hands already on the keyboard, I could do tab, and then I could go down here to the depth of this last one, which is 33. And then I could do tab, space for symmetric. And then I could just pick this region here and this region here. And you can see how quickly we were able to get that geometry to become solid. So let's say I Control Z, go back here to this sketch. Sketch is hidden, sketch is shown. I'm just going to show the sketch right away so that hopefully I don't have to show it again. And then I can S key extrude, and then I can tab, and I'm going to make this 50, tab, symmetric, and then I'll come out here and I'll click in this region. Okay, so now that looks pretty good. Shift Enter, tab, 16, tab, space, and then I'm going to pick this region. Preview's updating here. And then I'm going to Shift Enter, and then tab, 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 33, tab, 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 space, and then I'm going to pick these regions here. So you can see how quickly we were able to go from just having our layout sketch to having multiple features if we learned about that shift enter trick. And shout out to Airwick. I think I saw him using that in the tournament, and that's where I really learned how to do that. So that's the majority of the geometry in this part. The final two features that we have to set up are the counter bore and then finally the rib. So I'm going to save the rib for the end. There's one thing I want to mention about the counter bore. I've noticed in Onshape that I can come in here and I can create a hole. So I can go to the hole command here and I could go to counter bore and I could say I want this to be a counter bore with a diameter of, let's say, straight through hole with diameter of 12, and then with a counter bore diameter of 22 and a counter bore depth of 8. So I'm just using tab and the number pad to do that. But then when I go out on the screen and I click on this point, well, the counter bore is going to go normal to the direction of the sketch that we created there. And I don't know how to change that. If you're out there and you're an Onshape wizard and you know how to change that, please tell me, because I would love to be able just to change that. What I've been doing is just making a new sketch. So I make a new sketch here, and then I just drop a point right here, right where that other point is, and then I exit that sketch, and then I use that point for the counter bore. So I go hole, I say I want this to be 12, tab, 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 22, tab, 8, tab, and then I go out and I pick on this point that I just sketched on that face, and then that gives me the counter bore in the correct direction. So that's how I do it. I don't know if there's a way to change that. I'm going to kind of keep an eye on the chat. PC Arduino says that's what I do too for the whole. Okay, so at least one person is confirming. Can be done by editing the mate connector. Yeah, I did kind of wonder about that. So let's learn together here with Victor K in the chat. So I'm going to hide this sketch of the point that I created. I'm going to show this sketch here. So another option that we have is we could go counter bore, and then we could go tab, tab, tab. We can make this 12, tab, tab, tab. We can make this 22, tab, 8, tab. And then here for the sketch points, instead of picking this point here, what I could do is I could select mate connector, and then I could take my cursor out on the screen and I can drop my mate connector on that point. So now we see it's going in the wrong direction. So now what can I right mouse button and edit that mate connector from here, or maybe I have to do it after. So I don't know if I can do that while I'm creating that hole, or if I have to do it maybe afterwards, like editing the mate connector. So we'll watch in the chat and see if that's an option too. I thought maybe that would be a route that we could go down, would be to kind of change the mate connector, click to edit. Here we go. Realign primary mate axis, this line here. Oh yeah, it's just that easy, baby. Everybody knows how to do that. We've always known how to do that. No, that's very cool. So just click in there, click in there on the mate connector, click here to edit is what Onshape said. That's one of the things I really like about Onshape. Their tooltips are fantastic. So I did click here to edit, and then after I clicked in here to edit the mate connector, I was able to realign, click realign, edge of sketch, realign there, boom. And then we don't need that extra sketch of the point. Awesome. This is why I love Model Monday Live, because we can learn on the fly. We can all learn something by running into these challenges. And so that is awesome for all the Onshape users out there. All right, cool. So we took care of that one. So then the final challenge that we have here is the rib. And unfortunately for the rib, I couldn't find an answer for this one either. And so again, maybe we can lean on the chat. But basically what I would run into here is that if I created a line, and then I took that line and I chose to pierce it. So pierce means I want this line to be connected to that edge where the edge passes through, and it's Shift G is the hotkey for it, Shift G. Or you could click the icon up here on the relationships. So pierce, Shift G. So pierce is going to take place where this curve here is passing through the sketch plane. It's going to hook into this point here. So pierce. So it pulls that point. It took that point and it relocated it to wherever this curve is passing through the sketch plane. So now I've got a sketch representing kind of the upper edge of that rib. But now if I exit the sketch and I go into the rib command, I can't get it to work. So I go here to rib, I say this is my rib profile, and reverse the direction, and you can kind of see what the rib would look like if it was going in the upward direction. Reverse the direction into the downward direction, doesn't work. Extend to, so it doesn't work, can't get the rib to work in this manner. Now, one thing that I've tried in other CAD systems that has kind of let me get around this is I just put a little like nub here on the end. So just a little horizontal line up at the top to help control the direction of the rib. And so then what I could do is I can go into the rib and try again. And by the way, the reason this is happening is because what the rib is trying to do is it's trying to extend. Move this back here. It's trying to extend infinitely in this direction. Because if we just had the rib stop short here, then we would end up basically with a 0 thickness. So I tried to have the rib extend beyond here, but when I try to have the rib extend beyond here, it doesn't really have anywhere to terminate, because when the rib extends, it's actually going to go right past this tangent edge, because this tangent edge is curving away. I demonstrated this pretty clearly in a video on ribs. So if you look at my YouTube channel, you can find that video about ribs. It's right in the thumbnail. It's really easy to find if you just browse through the videos. It says like ribs, but I'm talking about it in a different CAD system, but I kind of explain in depth what's happening with the rib command. So I'm not going to go over that again here in this demonstration, other than just to say that I tried that same workaround, and unfortunately I ran into the same situation. So, you know, I tried to create the rib here using both of them, and it ends up failing. It ends up being problematic. Can't get the rib to complete here in this direction. Usually if you can't get the preview, it's not going to work. So, you know, what do we do in that spot? Well, we don't, you know, even though the drawing is calling out a rib, we don't have to force ourselves to use the actual rib command. What we could do is we could just, Ate is saying, what if you create an additional line in both sides? So you're saying if we created like something, like if we mirror this, let's see, I'm game. Let's see. So if we take this and make this Q, make this V for vertical. Oops, sorry, it's actually horizontal in this orientation. And then if we mirror that geometry, we still got a couple of minutes here, so I'm game for trying this. If we can figure this out, I'd be super happy. So let's say we create a rib and we say the rib is going to be this and this. See, that first one is what kind of errors out, which is kind of interesting. So let's say we did all these as like a rib. And flip direction. Nah, still not having any luck with it. Extend, using the option for extend profiles to part, not extend profiles to part. So still not having any luck with it. But the thing you want to remember is that, you know, just because the drawing calls out for a rib, or the customer calls out for a rib or something like that. Whoops, I hit the hotkey for submit to support by accident. Even though the drawing calls out for a rib, or the customer calls it a rib, actually calls it a rib, you're not forced to use an actual rib command. You could always just go on here and create something like this. You know, you could just create this geometry, put a little stub on there just so it's overlapping a little bit, and then just do a mid-plane extrusion. So you're never forced to actually use a rib, even though a rib is being called out. It's just being called out as a as an indication of like what the common name for the feature is, but it doesn't mean you're forced to use that actual feature. So if we hit the green check mark here, boom, we created that rib. You know, sometimes the customer will say, I want this to be exactly tangent, but the reality is it's tangent to where it originally was, but that means that we end up with this extra little, almost like a keyway sticking out here. And so depending on how extreme that is, depending on what the radius of the arc is compared to the thickness of the rib, the customer may or may not accept that as a solution. That's a discussion you got to have with the customer. But when they give you a note that's just kind of like their vision of what this thing should look like, which a lot of times that's what you get from a customer, they say rib touches tangent to the arc. Just make it go tangent to the arc. Like, they don't actually care that can't geometrically actually happen. They don't care. They just want the thing to look pretty close to that. At least a lot of the customers that I've dealt with. So, you know, you talk to the customer afterwards, you say, does this look good? And they say, yeah. And you don't even have to zoom in and show them that little flash spot. They're probably not going to see that in the manufactured part anyway. So that's my takeaway from this model, and that's how I would go about completing that model. I would definitely try to use the rib, and I will continue to try to explore the rib command in Onshape and see if I can find a way to use it in this scenario, because this scenario does come up a lot, and when I do find that, I will share it with everybody. But sometimes if you can't get it to work, you just got to keep plowing through. And so for this model, to finish this thing off, what I would do is I would right mouse button down here. I would say assign material. The material is going to come from the TooTallToby custom materials library. It's going to be plain carbon steel. Hit the check mark there. And then I'm going to go mass properties, and I'm going to come up with a mass here of 2906 grams. And so if we go back to today's presentation, let's see if we got it correct. 2906 grams is the correct answer. Let's go. We did it. So GG to Toby. And that is how you would go about completing that model. If you guys like those kinds of tutorials, be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to subscribe. Consider joining the channel. We'll have lots more great tutorials like that. And of course, if you've enjoyed this episode of Model Monday Live, well, it's not over yet. We're going to get into it now and show you the answer. But don't forget to like the channel. Don't forget to share and reshare. And don't forget about the value for value options we have. We always appreciate any value that we can get. We've set up a lot of different avenues for you. Super chat, super thanks, the website, TooTallToby.com/donate. And thank you so much to everybody who's been a part of that program as well. And don't forget also, we got training coming up. We do have some training for SolidWorks users to learn more about advanced part modeling, to learn more about sheet metal, to learn more about weldments. So definitely check it out. You can email Vicky at TooTallToby.com to get that schedule if you or if your team. This is a great way to support the channel. If you've got a team of people and you talk to your training coordinator and say, hey, why don't we all get training from Toby on sheet metal? We need to learn about sheet metal. Let's get training from Toby on how to do it. That's a win-win-win. A win for your team, a win for us here at TooTallToby, and a win for you individually because you get to learn more about 3D CAD and about sheet metal. So let us know, Vicky at TooTallToby, for any of your training needs. And thank you all so much for being a part of this community. Let's get into our second answer here. Why is this part called the boxer bracket? Why is it called the boxer bracket? It just reminds me of like a Rock'em Sock'em robot, especially in this view here. That's why. It reminds me of like one of those old Rock'em Sock'em robots. So this is the boxer bracket. A model from the tournament that was left over. It's got kind of a cool feature here. This thing going up at an angle to a set height. I think that's kind of a cool feature. So let's take a look here in the chat and see what people came up with for that boxer bracket. Tier 5 model. Tier 5 model. So let's see here. Victor K won the first match, and Victor K was the first one in, 446. Is it correct? Aaron C, 452.32. There's a dirty trick in that part. Yeah, I'm sure there is. All right, here we go. Ricardo Jean, 452.2. Otse, 445.9. I love all these different answers. 446. Let's go. Rambros, 447. Very nice, very nice. K Customs, 445. Barbarian, 446. It's plus or minus 1 gram, so both of those answers could be correct. LCR Brick Tech, 446. Let's go, let's go. Kind of a tricky model, tier 5 model, maybe taking some people a little bit longer to complete, and that's okay. You can keep on working on it. You know, that's the cool thing about the TooTallToby.com/practice. You can really see how long it's taking you. You can see how long it's taking some of the other members of the community, and that can be motivation to, you know, to keep practicing, to keep getting better and better and better. So let's go back to this first grouping of answers here. 446, 452, 452, 445, or 446. The correct answer is 446 grams. So it's none other than Victor K, our current world champion of 3D CAD speed modeling, who performs a clean sweep here on our final episode of Model Monday Live. GG to Victor K. Guys, give Victor K a GG in the chat. Well done, my friend. Well done, well done. Gets the victory cat as well. I like it, I like it. Love seeing those victory cats in the chat. GG to Victor K. And congratulations, a clean sweep. Very, very nice. Nice way to end our September episodes of Model Monday Live. I want to say thank you so much to everybody in the chat. Thank you so much to everybody who joined today, to Victor K and Aaron C for joining the members program today. Thank you guys so much. Great. I like your use of those icons, Aaron C. Don't forget, your mission this week is to walk up to one coworker while they're in the middle of an important task and whisper in their ear, "Visit TooTallToby." And this Friday, we're going to see some epic matches between our members of the Elite 8 to see who rounds out the Final 4 for the tournament. And I want to say thank you all so much. Next week, I'm going to possibly be taking off for some tourney prep. We need to get everything ready for the Final 4, but we might be here as well. I'm not sure. And I just want to say thank you so much to everybody who tuned in today. It's always a great way to start our week with these Model Monday Live episodes, and I couldn't do any of this without all of you. So thank you all so much for being a part of this community. Be sure to check us out on the Discord. There's a lot of great communication on there. Be on the lookout for YouTube videos this week. We're going to be releasing a lot of YouTube videos, a lot of highlights from the earlier tournament matches. And thank you all so much for making this such an awesome Monday. Hope you have a great rest of your Monday. I hope you have a great rest of your week as well. And look forward to seeing everybody this Friday in the tournament. All right, everybody. See you there.